Situated on the southwest tip of Ireland, where the Atlantic meets the unforgiving mountains and coastline, lies a landscape sculpted by wind and rain. A region known for its rugged beauty and abundant marine life. Fin whales, humpback whales, minke whales, dolphins and porpoises visit West Cork's coastal waters at different times throughout the year. Atlantic grey and harbour seals breed on the small islands dotted along the coast, while many bird species make the waters around the islands of West Cork a summer home prior to their autumn migration south over the equator. During the course of this series, I'll not only be looking at the marine life that lives here, I'll also be asking, why is this region such a magnet for some of the world's most incredible marine species, and how we can all do our part in conserving the environment here in what is a truly wild West Cork. Cape Clear Island is Ireland's most southerly community. You can't live any further south in Ireland than on Cape Clear. 3 miles long by 1 mile wide, this haven of tranquility lies just a few miles off the coast of southwest Cork. 45 minutes by ferry from Baltimore, the very remoteness of this island gem develops a characteristic self-sufficiency in its inhabitants. A 5,000-year-old passage tomb, a 12th century church, a 14th century castle, and megalithic standing stones are all testament to human habitation for many hundreds of years, even thousands of years. Part of the Gaeltacht, this island has its own primary school where lessons are taught in the Irish language. Dry stone walls form a patchwork across the island's landscape with secluded harbours, dramatic Atlantic cliffs, bogs, wildflower meadows and a lake forming the backdrop for the 120 hardy souls that make this southerly bastion of the Irish language home. Fishing, farming and tourism are mainstays of the island's economy. But making a living is not as easy as it looks. You can't eat the scenery. Neil O'Regan has been running the shop and Sean Rua's restaurant for the last few years.
I drove the minibus on the island for a couple of days a week and doing tours for tourists coming off the ferries and helping Mary and Jim O'Neill, who was the coordinator at the time. And I got an opportunity to buy the shop and restaurant on the island, and I did so. And I bought that in 2004 and started in the shop and restaurant in November 2004. Running a small business on Cape Clear as opposed to the mainland offers logistically getting goods onto the island, getting fresh produce daily, several times daily. Initially when I moved here in 2004, I didn't realise that I had to be so organised in getting something simple like maybe a loaf of bread or a case of milk into the shop. But after about a very fast learning curve, of which took me 12 months, I got there. It took a while to get there, but that was one of the biggest challenges. Then, of course, you have, in the event of a winter storm, where you might have a ferry travelling for a day or 2 days, and then all of a sudden you find you have no milk. So we do quite a brisk trade, maybe 1 or 2 days a year in powdered milk.
The ferry from Baltimore serves as a link to the mainland for the islanders and brings visitors. Many people come to the island and never leave.
So I came to Cape Clear in January 2010 on a very stormy day for a few days, and 5 or 6 months later I came back to live here permanently because I fell in love with the shopkeeper. Bringing up my daughter, Gabrielle, who is 6 years of age, you know, it's a very good place for her to grow up in here. You know, she goes swimming 6 months a year. She has a close group of friends, you know, we do a lot of gardening. So it's the life of, you know, is that kind of life with the children, and everything is easygoing. People knows everybody. The children feel, you know, safe on the island. There is so many activities available for them. So this is a big plus for me to live here.
Cape Clear's position, surrounded by productive Atlantic waters, has established the island as a key bird-watching and marine wildlife destination. Petrels, skuas, minke whales, common dolphins and basking sharks are just some of the species that may be seen, both on the land and on boat tours around the island from nearby Baltimore. Irish speaker Seamus O'Driscoll has been living on the island for 30 years, where the community spirit remains strong.
We still have the concept of the mehel, which is people coming together to do things. And of course the most recent example, and probably one of the best examples, is that a group of people on the island have come together to purchase about 45 acres of land in South Harbour, which is overlooking South Harbour, but it's also one of the most southwesterly points in all of Europe, in all of Ireland, in all of Europe, where people can go whale and dolphin watching. And it was very important to us in this community to keep these lands open for public access, so that both ourselves and visitors to the island will be able to access, I would think, one of the most beautiful and unspoiled maritime landscapes in Europe.
Mary McO'Donoghue is one of the oldest inhabitants on Cape Clear. Born on the Calf Islands, and after some years of working on the mainland and in the UK, moved back to Cape Clear with her late husband to raise her family.
Well, that time, you know, there were all the people in Cape. We all knew one another. We were all the same people. We used to have cards playing. We used to have dances and sing songs and careers and everything. You know, and they were happy days. That's all done away with, you know.
And that's what you remember about
That's what I remember about Cape.
But it's the same today, isn't it?
Not at all. Not at all. The Cape have changed completely.
Really?
Completely. It is good, really, in one way, but it has changed compared to what I had now.
What do you think Cape has changed mainly? How do you think it's changed mainly?
Well, I think really there should be something done for the younger generation, because they leave Cape, they're highly educated, and there's nothing for them to come back to, and they have to go to immigrate. There's nothing for them, which is really tragic, really. Many mother and father says goodbye to their sons and daughters, and they never see them for a long, long time again.
Cape Clear is a magical destination for a day trip or for extended visits, and you'll want to come back. What will draw you back are the people, their warmth and generosity towards visitors, their fortitude and forbearance against the many challenges of island life. But I will leave the last word to the people of Cape Clear as to what makes their island so special for them.
For me, I suppose the thing that makes the difference, you can find landscape and history in lots of places, but what you may not find in other places is the sense of community.
You know, the wildlife, the community life again, and you know, you'll be at home and you can see the view out of your house. It's different every day. You know, it's just the wildlife that make it very special.
Tranquility. Summertime can be chaotic, but I can leave chaos in the shop and restaurant and walk for 3 minutes, and I have complete and utter peace and quiet and solitude.
Join us next time on Wild West Cork, where we look at the life history of a visitor from Africa that came to Ireland and didn't leave.